What is going on, guys? It is Constable Chen coming back at you with another video. Today in this Madden 17 video, we are going to be making a team that is full of players from the Big 12 conference in college football. So I went ahead, already did that, put together a roster that I like from players that went to this school. So let's review them quick. I did it a bit different than my other videos. I also did the Big 10, the Pac-12, SEC, and the ACC. But in those videos, I tried to trade for all the players and didn't end up having all the best players on the team. So for this one, I just went in a roster beforehand and made my team and then just started a league and didn't have to worry about trying to trade for players. So let's review this Big 12 team and then we will get this underway. So if you guys don't know, let's just review the teams in this conference. There's Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Kansas State, TCU, Baylor, Texas, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and Kansas. So a lot of pretty big schools in college football, definitely. So let's review the players that I came up with. There's players that are still very good that didn't make this team just because there are a lot of good players that went to these schools. So I'll go over that in just a bit. But at quarterback, Andy Dalton went to TCU. I also have Sam Bradford and Colt McCoy going to be backing him up. I also could have got players that aren't that great if I needed another one, like Landry Jones, RG3, Bryce Petty went to Baylor, Brandon Whedon, I think he went to Oklahoma State. Players kind of like that, but I'm pretty comfortable with these three. Running backs, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, and DeMarco Murray. Oklahoma produced some good running backs a couple years ago with Peterson and DeMarco Murray. I also could have got Darren Sproles and Charles Sims from the Bucks, but I only run 3 running backs, so I'm just going to run with these guys. Fullback, Aaron Ripkowski, plays for the Packers, I believe, went to Oklahoma. I also could have got Will Johnson from the Giants. I think he went to West Virginia. Wide receivers, this is where I had to make some tough decisions. Des Bryant, Michael Crabtree, Jordy Nelson, Tavon Austin, Tyler Lockett, and Sterling Shepard. So some players that I had to leave out were Danny Amendola, Kenny Stills, Kendall Wright, Terrence Williams, and Corey Coleman, a rookie from Cleveland. But these 6 are very good receivers. At tight end, not definitely a strong suit on this team, Jermaine Gresham, Doral Green Beckham, who's a wide receiver, but I just moved him to tight end. And Brandon Pettigrew, so those are my 3 tight ends. O-line, Trent Williams from the Redskins. Raven Clark, I'm not sure where I got him from. Oshmelier, he's a Baltimore, or plays for the Raiders. Mark Glowinski plays for the Seahawks. Cody Whitehair's a rookie for the Bears. Joey Hunt. Right guard, we have Lane Taylor from the Packers. Drango, I think he plays for the Browns. Right tackle, Lane Johnson from Philly. Marcus Cannon from the Patriots, I believe. Left end, Brian Robinson from the Vikings. Kerry Hyder Jr., not sure where I got him. Arakpo and David Irving from the Vikings. Defensive tackle, McCoy, Malcolm Brown, Andrew Billings. Left outside linebacker, we have Jerry Hughes, Emmanuel Ogba. Middle linebacker, Jordan Hicks, Derek Johnson, AJ Klein, and Nick Kwiatkowski from the Bears, I believe. Right outside linebacker, the speedster Bruce Irvin and Sam Acho. Cornerbacks, we have Talib and Harris, both Kansas cornerbacks, play on the same Denver Bronco team. Then we got the veteran Terrence Newman, and then Jason Verrett, Aaron Colvin, and Xavier Howard. Free safety, Earl Thomas, Kenny Vaccaro, 2 Texas free safeties. Strong safety, we have Tony Jefferson from Oklahoma, and then rookie Carl Joseph out of West Virginia, plays for the Raiders. Kicker, Justin Tucker, got a very good leg, 98 kick power. And Tress Way, I believe he's the Redskins punter. He's 81. I also could have got the Colts punter, that McAfee too, but he's a little bit older, so I went the younger way. So this is what the team's looking like heading into year number 1. I might actually redo those other ones I did with like SEC, ACC, Pac-12, and Big 10 just because I just like the way I did it. Just put all the players on the team to start off with and don't have to worry about trades. So if you guys want to take a look at the depth chart, what it's going to pan out like, team's pretty good. There are some little holes at O-line, but, Whitehair is young. Taylor at left guard maybe. But my tackles are good. Got 2 running backs, or 3 good running backs, I should say. My receivers are pretty stacked. Tight ends might need some work. Defensively, D-line's pretty good. I'm going to be running a 4-3. Linebackers, no one's really high in overall, but they're young and they got a lot of speed for the most part. Safeties are good. Corners are very good. So I think we should have some success with this franchise. Probably just do 3 years, and hopefully we win a Super Bowl in that time frame. So I'm going to start simming, and we will pick it up with you guys in the playoffs. So we are in the playoffs in year number 1, and our record is 12-4. Looks like we play in the divisional against the 9-7 New England Patriots, but we'll get to that in just a sec. We'll check some stats, and then Spencer Player XP, and then we'll jump into the playoff games. So passing, Andy Dalton had a lot of targets to throw to, obviously. So 4,590 yards, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, sacked 29 times, so that's reasonable. Rushing, Adrian Peterson, 1,363 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jamal Charles had 767 and 11 touchdowns. Receiving, Michael Crabtree, 97 receptions, 1,009 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Jordy Nelson, 92 catches, 1,210 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Des Bryant, 75 catches for 994 and 5 touchdowns. And Jermaine Gresham had 10 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, Jordan Hicks led the way with 93 tackles. Tackles for loss, Gerald McCoy led in that department with 15. Quarterback sacks was Brian Arakpo with 11.5. And interceptions was Chris Harris Jr. with 3. And a couple guys on my team were tied with 2. Kicking, Justin Tucker, 11 for 14. Kick returns, no one had a touchdown. Punt returns, no one had a touchdown. I had the best offense in the league in terms of yardage, and defense, we were 4th in the league. So good offense, good defense. I'm happy to see that. So I'm going to spend some player XP. I'm not sure if anyone's got a good amount. Whitehair, Andy Dalton's got the most, I think, on offense. And on defense, looks like that goes to Chris Harris Jr., I would say. So I'll spend this player XP, and then we will jump right into the playoffs. In the third quarter, I am winning 27-9, and I'm probably going to run away with the win. Looks like I get a field goal. 30-9 is your final in this divisional game in year number 1, and we are moving on to the conference championship. So in this conference AFC game, we play the 12-4 San Diego Chargers, who are only 81 overall, which is pretty low compared to our 91 overall Big 12 team. So we should beat them, but as I look up, we are actually losing by quite a bit, 24-10. And I think it's going to be too late for this team, 27-17, and that is going to be your final. So we lost by 10 points, lost at home 27-17. Maybe next year is our year, but we lost to Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. So we will try again next year. I did scout some players. There are a couple in the draft that I could draft, and we will see you guys in year number 2. So in the draft, I think I had a pretty decent one. I went wide receiver out of Oklahoma. He's got superstar development, so that's pretty good. And then I went a center out of Oklahoma. He's 77 with normal development. And then I went left tackle, Boyle. He's 69, but he's got quick development, so that's pretty decent. And then in the 7th round, I just picked a corner out of Iowa State, 64 overall. So now let's jump into year number 2. This is what the team's going to be looking like heading into year number 2. There are a couple small changes that I will show you. The O-line is going to be staying the same. Wide receiver core, though, I'm going to be starting this Skull guy in the slot at the number 3 spot just because he's got superstar development, and hopefully he's got a big chunk of XP to use after 1 year. So that means Jordy Nelson slides 1 spot back to number 4. And then defensively, I can't remember what corner I had at number 3. I think it was Terrence Newman last year, but he retired, so Vrett's going to step up and play in that spot. So that'll be pretty good. And at strong safety, I'm going to be starting Carl Joseph over Jefferson because they're the same overall, but Joseph is younger and probably could get higher in overall faster. And really, that's about it. So I'm going to start simming ahead here, and we will catch up with you guys in the playoffs again. So in the playoffs in year number 2, our record is 13-3. So we got an extra win from our record last year. We finished 12-4. So let's take a look at some stats. Andy Dalton had 4,049 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Rushing, Adrian Peterson 291 carries for 1,379 yards and 10 touchdowns. Jamal Charles added 672 and 15 touchdowns on the ground. Receiving, Michael Crabtree 925 and 7 touchdowns. Des Bryant 1,110 yards and 8 touchdowns. Denard Skoll, my rookie, had 857 and 7 touchdowns. Defensive side of the ball, Jordan Hicks led the team in tackles again with 102. Tackles for loss with Gerald McCoy with 17. Quarterback sacks, Brian Arakpo, very big year from him, had 20 sacks and interceptions. Aqib Talib led in that aspect with 6. My offense was 6th in the league. Last year we were number 1, and defense we were 2nd in the league, so we improved on that, and we were number 4 last year. So I'll spend some player XP. I saw Cody Whitehair had a good chunk. I think he got like 22,000 or 23,000 at the center position, and then defensively, McCoy's got some. I think he's the highest XP player on defense. So we play the 10-6 Bills, and we will pick it up with you guys in that game. The third quarter of play looks like Buffalo just took the lead. I answer back with a field goal, 24-24. I get a field goal. Get another one, 33-31. I was coming on hot and heavy there at the end, but I just squeaked that victory, won by 2 points. 33-31 is your final, and moving on to the conference for 2 years straight. In this conference championship game, we play the New England Patriots, who are 84 overall compared to this 90 overall team. We were outranking the team last year with the Chargers, but the Chargers got the best of us. But looks like we are shutting out New England. 33-0 is going to be your final, and we are moving on to the Super Bowl in year number 2. So it looks like we played the 12-4 Seattle Seahawks, who are 91 overall. They actually won the Super Bowl last year, so they are going for back-to-back years. With that 90 overall they have, they're actually a better team than me on paper, since I'm only a 90. As I look up at the TV, it's not looking so good for Houston. Seattle's beating us 32-20, and that is going to be your final score. They actually do go back-to-back. They got a very good team with Russell Wilson and very good defense. But we came up short again. Last year we lost in the conference. This year lost in the Super Bowl. So we're inching closer and closer. So maybe in year 3 we will finally win a Super Bowl, but we will find out shortly. I will do the offseason, and we'll pick it up at the draft recap. So in the draft recap, I didn't have as good a draft as I did last year. My first pick, I picked a right outside linebacker out of Texas who is 79 overall, normal development. Other than that, nothing too special. A wide receiver, left tackle, right tackle, halfback, tight end, and wide receiver. All of them are, for the most part, in the 60s, so not that great. So I'm going to sim next week, and we will begin year number 3. So in this third and final year, for the most part, the team all stays the same. The only difference is on defense. I think my left end, Brian Robinson, retired because he's not my team anymore, so I just moved Emmanuel Ogbah from linebacker to defensive end, and he'll fit that spot nicely. So offensively, this is what the team's looking like. Andy Dalton is my starting quarterback again. My running backs all stay the same. They're all getting pretty old, though. A lot of players on this team are getting old, wide receivers including. But they're still pretty good. They got some gas left in the tank to make a Super Bowl run. Defensively, this is what it looks like. Still pretty good. One thing I'm going to do, I haven't been having success simming in-game, so I'm actually just going to sim like right to the Super Bowl. Instead of simming right to the playoffs, we'll sim to the Super Bowl. If we're in the Super Bowl, great. If not, so be it. Wasn't meant to be. So I'm gonna let it sim, and we will pick it up with you guys in the playoffs. So we are in Super Bowl week, but looks like simming it like this didn't help our case because we are not playing in this football game, which is unfortunate. Our record was 12-4, so we had that record in year number 1. So we'll take a look at our playoff schedule and see where things went wrong here. So the Steelers and Vikings are in the Super Bowl. Looks like we lost in the conference. It was actually a close game, the closest conference game I've had yet this year. 27-35. I lost to Pittsburgh Steelers, but Pittsburgh is a very good team. So we lost in the conference yet again. So year 1, 12. We went 12-4, lost in the conference. Year number 2, 13-3, lost in the Super Bowl. And then year number 3. Went 12-4 and lost in the conference again. So same as year 1 in that aspect. So we'll take a look at some stats and then bring this video to an end. So Andy Dalton, 4,299 yards, 33 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Rushing, Adrian Peterson, 1,220 yards, 12 touchdowns. Jamal Charles, 600 yards and 13 touchdowns. Receiving, Michael Crabtree, 868 and 9 touchdowns. Jarrell Green-Brackham, 811 and 6 touchdowns, and Des Bryant, 1,323 yards and 7 touchdowns. Go to the defensive side of the ball here. Jordan Hicks led my team in tackles for 3 years straight with 134. Jared McCoy led in tackles for loss for all 3 years with 13, and quarterback sacks was Brandon Rockpo with 12.5. Interceptions, Chris Harris Jr., very good year, had 7. Jordan Hicks, good year as well, 5. Bruce Irvin, 4. Carl Joseph, 3. A lot of interceptions for the defense. 8th best offense, so we kind of went down each year. 6th best defense, so our defense has kind of been steady, like top 5-ish usually for the all 3 years. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Made a team with old players from Big 12 schools and had some success, but didn't have that Super Bowl ring. So I'm probably going to redo all those other schools because I really didn't do them right. I should have just put all the players on one team instead of like trading for some of them, I should say. So I want to redo that. I like the way I did it in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It'll help the channel grow and I would appreciate it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video.